good at this.
Let me just check this.
There we go. And away we go. Ben's just head out the room. So Ben is our marketing guru. He, if you interact with our social media channels, you might be having a chat with Ben. He helps schedule posts and write some content. My name's Max. I do all the web store stuff and some of the product development. And this admittedly pretty crazy idea was mine. But I think, I don't know if anyone's actually opened up their Dune sets yet, but it's a pretty fun build, and it looks pretty impressive once you get it all done.
YouTube.
Cool. Let me know if
Hey Paul, how's it going?
anyone. You're supposed to go that way. So we had this set custom designed by a decently well-known Lego build designer called Jeffy O Builds. He's got lots of sets up on a wide range of brick building sites for make your own creations, and he very nicely helped us out with our design.
Peter asked if what happens if one piece is missing.
So you do end up with any missing pieces. You shouldn't, of course. Just let us know, and we've got some spare pieces at the office that we can send out to you. We don't expect it, but you know, Lego pieces, brick pieces, they're little small fiddly things, so sometimes it's something just slips through the cracks. The thing the website and the images don't quite convey is the actual size of this at the end, which is pretty good, pretty big, and fits nicely. You'll kind of see when it's finished, fits nicely on top of the box as well, so it ends up being a rather large display piece for yourself.
Raf is here.
Hey, Raf.
Hey, Raf.
Do you want to share the links on my teams? Because there's a couple of spots to share it to. Just share it to like Discord.
What links?
I don't know, maybe the Facebook one or YouTube.
To your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got the YouTube one up here.
There we go.
Where's the Club 4K coming out?
The Club 4K.
Club 4K. That would be fun.
It would be. It's not on the books at the moment,
Yeah,
let's put it
not
like
on the
that.
books.
We've got some good Aussie stuff coming up, that's for sure, but no, not the Club. We are hopefully announcing a big one next week with our March announcements, so keep your eyes peeled.
Be back. I want to see if that volume's not working on Instagram.
Insta. Do you reckon it's an Insta thing?
I don't know. Let me check.
Having some technical issues with Instagram, so if you know someone trying to watch an Insta and they're desperately trying to see me poorly build a Dune Sandworm, send them over to YouTube or Facebook. Oh, we also almost got ourselves a base going on here. One more. Where are you hiding? There you go. So, got ourselves a base there. Oh, geez, is that the right way around? Oh no. That shouldn't matter. So, if we put our box back, there you go. This gives you an idea of the size of the set, so it fits nicely up on a plinth like that. There we go. So, let's start. Now we got some sand to put together. You know what?
Oh no, I've got sound now. My other account just didn't have sound.
There we go. Let's let's switch these over so they're actually the right way around. There we go. Little brick set note, you know, if you do something wrong, it's okay. Always take it apart and fix it again. Okay. Looks like it's this way around. Grey. Still trying to work out Facebook Live.
No, everything's up and running, just trying to manage it.
We haven't done too many live streams here at Umbrella, so it's a bit of a first for everyone. Don't know if we'll have too much to live stream in the future, but who knows. Where are you? Peter's very astute there.
Alright, I'll have this up just on Instagram now, so hopefully I see all the messages. Yeah,
Great.
I saw you asked about a wrong turn. I think that slip is long gone as well. Pretty limited, and I don't even think we have any hanging around.
No, that was kind of one of the first batch of like exclusive slips with nice custom art that we put out. So hard to come by. I think we only ended up doing about 250 of them. Oh no, piece down. Oh.
Paul as well, we addressed this one briefly, but we can't say that word there because it is a brick set.
It is yes, it's a Dune brick set. I daren't say it too much on stream. But it's compatible. This is compatible with all leading major bricks. When we initially came up with the concept for the Dune Sandworm, we thought about going for the official Lego set, but from our understanding, it's not a type of content that they wanted to be on board with, due to all the drug and religion and aspects, or at least that's what we were told. Those in the know probably know differently these days. everyone out there, anyone got any favourite Umbrella releases from the last year? Shoot us a note. See what we can have a see what everyone likes. Who knows? It might give us some indication of what we should be getting for next year.
Exactly.
How long did I put aside for this?
Makes some good progress so far.
Half an hour. All I've got is a base.
Sure do. Wonder if I should scan the QR code and do some stuff. Although I've got this up on here.
Oh, there's closed captions as well. Crazy. I think the first time I put this together, it took me about 3 hours. So I was kind of hoping that the fact that I'd done this before meant I might be able to do it in a couple of hours, but I may have been kidding myself.
You might have to bring out the pre-built one.
There's a pre-built one? No one told me that.
No, I don't know about it either. I don't think you can cheat it live anyway.
Here's one I made earlier. Where's the office oven?
Rattle off any questions you have, because it's really the best time to get them answered.
Yeah. Who's tried Broly out there?
Yeah, you got to go on Broly if you can, guys. In the new year, we're going to have some really cool content going up. Can't give it away yet, but probably a bigger movie than anything we got on there, so
Oh,
it's going to be mega, yeah.
I actually have no idea what that is. I'm intrigued.
And I hope everyone saw that we announced Terrifier 3, which is going to be awesome.
That trailer, eh?
Yeah.
Is it actually like a set in Christmas time?
I believe it is, yeah.
Christmas Terrifier. There's gonna be some fun Santa Clauses that year.
What do you reckon? You reckon Terrifier goes to space and stuff like that?
What is this, Jason?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's already taking the piss out of a few.
A few of the old standards.
Yeah, so you may as well. Putting him as like stand-in Santa Claus is kind of already passing the threshold there. Someone said, "Talk to me?" Question mark. Any elaboration on that one?
What? Talk to me what? I think they're just trying to tell us that we're too silent on stream.
Yeah. Same, please.
They want some ASMR.
someone said, Travis, if you're reading this, I miss you. I don't know Travis personally, but I'll tell him if I see him.
I don't think I accounted for having to work around a webcam in my time of being able to do this.
Yeah. Jeffy O Builds is here. Thanks, Jeffy, for the build. Said, pro tip for anyone else waiting to build their own: open the bags and sort your parts by colour before starting.
Oh, I wish I'd known that tip before I started.
That one, Jeffy.
I swear I did that at home. Told you, I'm not a professional.
Need me to help you find anything?
My sanity. Oh, there it is. Hold on a second.
Ooh, someone thought that Talk to Me was the movie coming to Broly. Fortunately, it's not. Yeah, it works a little bit differently. That
Oh, I'm missing something.
we wouldn't have sort of access to it for a while on Broly, unfortunately. It's got to do the rounds. Got to go to. It's on Netflix at the moment. If you haven't seen it,
And if you haven't seen it, you should.
yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, it's got to sort of go through those hoops first, and then maybe one day we can bring it to Broly, which would be exciting. But at the moment, we're focusing on a lot of catalogue titles. But even saying that, we've got some stuff coming up that is not going to be very old. Is going to be just sort of fresh off festivals or exclusive streaming runs. So we'll get those up, and it might be the first time people get a chance to see them, which is going to be so fun. So we'll keep you updated though. After Christmas sometime, we'll have some more content coming out, and yeah, we'll keep it fresh on there for sure. But feel free to anytime send us suggestions for what we should put on Broly.
Lots of Aussie stuff, of course.
Yeah, that's one of the things we really want to do with Broly, is have a bunch of Aussie content that's hard to find. At the moment we have some. We're still sort of working out, trying to get the best materials we can on others. Make sure that what we put up there is really really good watch experience as well. But yeah, every month we'll have new stuff up, and probably a really good chunk of it will be some Aussie stuff that you mightn't have seen or mightn't have seen for a while. And so yeah, but of course with every month we'll have some big blockbuster type titles as well. Well, our version of blockbuster, not Top Gun or any of that, but some real winners. So keep an eye out. Someone says, since you guys will be putting Monkey Shines out soon, assume you guys either rewatched it or seen it already. How bad do you want a pet monkey now? Yeah, I watched Monkey Shines just not that long ago, just before we announced it, and yeah, no, I don't think I want a pet monkey. The stories of
chimps being chimps.
Yeah, it's not something that I would be keen on recreating or trying to recreate. But if you've seen that movie, if you've seen Monkey Shines, it's kind of it positions itself as a bit of a horror about a nasty chimp. But if you watch it, the monkey's kind of mistreated a little bit, and maybe it's the human's fault, but you got to make your mind up on that. Depends how much you read into it, or is it just a monkey with a syringe trying to stab people? It's either that, or it's like deeply thoughtful and, you know, a critique of human nature. But yeah, it depends if you want to get into it or not.
I mean, it could be both, right?
It can be both.
Isn't that that's most horror, right?
But it's Romero, so it's definitely got to be a social commentary. If you've seen the Dead trilogy, you know that he's very astute with his commentary. The Crazies as well. It positions it as one thing, a zombie movie or a contagion movie or something, but it always ends up being a bit more of a critique of human nature and people under pressure and what they do in those situations. So I don't know, if you haven't seen much Romero, you gotta just take a deep dive, and Monkey Shines is a pretty good place to start, so definitely give it a crack. Sunset, Mailman just came in. My Talk to Me Blu-ray just came from Oz. Doesn't come to the NZ till the 20th of December, so it feels cool to have it a few days early.
Oh, no.
Definitely crack it open and start watching, because yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
That's what
I'm assuming a lot of our fans have seen Talk to Me now, hopefully, and yeah, definitely let us know what you think about it if you're tuned in.
I think Talk to Me, like, I'm not a super horror fan, but like Talk to Me is just like, it's a good solid movie, and everything it's putting together, its story, its metaphors, you know, it's just well done, and it doesn't try to hide being Australian.
No.
Like, I like that.
No,
like
yeah.
there's certain like movies made in Australia where it's like they pretend they're in America. It's like, no, that just kind of leans into it.
Have you seen Dead Kids?
No, I haven't even watched it yet.
Dead Kids is hilarious because it's on Broly. Sorry for the plug again, guys, but
It's all plugs here.
yeah, everything will be a plug. Dead Kids is set in it's an Australian producer, or produced from Australia. It's filmed in New Zealand, and it's set in a little town in America, and so it's all American actors, but filmed in New Zealand and produced in Australia, and it's wild because it's set in a real US town. I think it's called maybe Gettysburg, maybe off the mark there, but in that local town where it's set, you know, it's not at all filmed. None of it is filmed in this town, but it's set there, and it's kind of like a cult. It has a lot of cult status in that town, despite the fact that it's not even an American film. You know, we kind of almost claim it as an Australian film, but it has a lot of cult status there, and people even reach out to me, and they do screenings there, and they you know, get discs for giveaways and things like that, and it just goes a bit nuts over there, because, you know, in the Hollywood system or whatever, they would never think to make a movie there, but
They didn't.
They didn't. It still hasn't been made. In fact, they made, someone had from that town had seen Dead Kids and made Dead Kids 2, just shot on video,
Which is on the release,
sequel,
right?
which is on our release, and it's just a shot on video sequel that I haven't even seen. I probably should, but none of the same filmmakers are actors, from what I know. So you wouldn't know what you're going to get there, but hey, I have to check it out, I guess. Did you see the trailer for the new Dune?
No, I'm trying to avoid watching it. Just like, I really liked the first one, so...
Yeah, I usually try to avoid trailers. But I've been watching trailers recently. I'm really like I'm happy to just go into a movie blind, but recently I've been watching a few trailers, and I saw Dune, and it's epic.
As it should be.
As you imagine. Yeah, it's wild. So is there a reason why some of the releases come in clear cases? I think it's really cool.
We try to release most of our releases in clear cases. I think it allows the art on the slick kind of to show itself a bit more. So rather than having the blue case, which sticks out like a sore thumb, we rather go the clear and keep it neutral. I like how some, I can't remember who it is, that has red cases. Is it Mondo Macaba? Has red cases sometimes.
I've seen that,
But yeah, most of the time, clear's just, doesn't stick out too much.
Yeah, definitely the preference. And I know people that even reach out and see if we've got clear cases because they want to. I know Peter, if he's still around, I know you switch out all your blue cases to clear cases. It's just an aesthetic choice, and I do respect it because it does sometimes look a bit nicer, and especially if all your releases are like that, it gives it a bit of consistency, which is good.
And let's be honest, I'm gonna take a stab in the dark here, but the only reason the cases were blue were probably because it was called Blu-ray, right? That's got to be why. Otherwise, why did they make every single case blue?
Yeah. No, actually, absolutely. It would have just been because actually I think about sometimes. Sorry, I got a refresh on Facebook. It looks like I missed a few comments, but Peter says yes. Perfect. Yeah, clear cases are the win. And Peter Power says Stir on Blu-ray. Stir just recently got announced by Severin on Blu-ray, so potentially, but I guess we've already kind of, they've already beaten us to it a little bit, but
it's on the books as a possibility, but it's not on the schedule in any way. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, for sure. What was I saying before that though? I lost my track. I wonder if I can get this working live on comments. I'll just refresh it.
You might have to log in. Just log in to Facebook.
Yeah, I might have to just log in on my personal account. Peter said, "I'd love to see Rubber on Blu-ray. Is that's the Tyre movie? If I'm not mistaken,
is that the
Peter?
Quentin Perdue movie?
Shit. Yeah, I know that you're a big fan of him, Peter. So
the Doctor, Mr. Wazoo. Oh shit!
What happened? Did you
Fuck on.
Oh no!
My drink.
That the beer's been spilled, guys.
I gotta deal with that.
Yeah. I'll look into that one, Peter. I know that it's a real cult hit. So definitely up our alley for sure. Killer Tire. It's absolutely up our alley. So keep an eye out for that one.
Like we were planning on moving out of this place.
Max is just on clean-up duty. Feel free to shoot some more questions. We'll try to answer whatever comes through. Just monitoring a few channels, so hopefully I don't miss anything. But We good?
I just gotta hide my hair a bit better from my foot. I think we had a couple of his other movies, didn't we?
Yeah, we've got a few on Broly. We've got Smoking Causes Coughing.
Oh, that's right.
And we've got Incredible But True.
Nice.
So I do have to check some of those out. Let me know if anyone's actually got their build done yet out there. It's pretty gnarly once it's finished. The framing is a bit tough on Instagram, but it will go up to about probably the height of the box there, and it's pretty mean. I've been meaning to take some photos of it. Oh, Peter's let me know what we say. Love to see some new slips for past releases, similar to what you kind of people did with Texas Chainsaw. That's a very good idea. Yeah. I'm sure that if the time comes, we'll do something like that again. Yeah, those releases were really fun. That must have been just a little bit before I started working here, and yeah, I was all over those. So I'm sure that people are waiting on a second batch, and you never know, it might come along, but I'm working at some point. Oh, your phone's gone.
Actually, I'm probably just doing this.
And yeah, I need to check out Smoking Causes Coughing. It looks like a lot of fun. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Just need to check one thing. Oh, because you need the QR code, yeah?
That's alright. Sorry people, my phone's about to die, so I'm just logging into the computer to get the instructions.
Do you want me to get that up on the big screen, or?
Nah, I just want to move that over to it.
Yeah, let's do it. So I've been connecting blocks randomly. I'm gonna fuck the build up.
You're gonna miss it. You're gonna end up with like an extra few blocks on top of its head. There we are. Ah. All right, let's get in the rhythm here. Let's go. Let's do this. Otherwise, I'll be here all weekend. You a builder, Ben?
Brick builder.
Brick builder.
No.
As they call them.
Actually, you know what? I've had my times. I think everyone in lockdown had a bit of a brick building stage.
Yeah, I was building this.
Yeah, still going from lockdown. Yeah, I think surely most people got around a bit of Lego during lockdown. I definitely did.
You mean brick sets?
No. I'm talking about the separate entity here. But yeah, I don't mind a bit of a build. I think part of me is like itching to help you build this, and then I'm like,
You can.
But surely it's harder.
Like, there's a whole worm that goes on top here if you wanted to start trying to work on that, and then we can try and...
I could. I'd have to...
Did we get connected to...
Kira, what's up?
Kira? Do we end up getting connected to YouTube?
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Oh, sweet. So we can time-lapse at least part of it.
Yeah, for sure. How's it going, Kira? We took a note from your book and decided to jump on the live. I wonder how, because I'm looking at Instagram on my phone, I wonder how I can get the instructions. I'll probably put them up there.
You could if you wanted. Ben's eager to build.
Yeah. Dying to have a build. Kira says, I'm glad you're doing this.
We're learning. We're learning the stream.
Tutorial stream. But it'll be good. People can see it come together. Even if you tune in now and then come back later, you can see the progress. Kira said, I'll see you on the day of the next announcements. Absolutely.
Of course. We don't announce until Kira's ready.
We'll be back soon, Kira. And yeah, it'll be some wicked stuff to see. So So you have to get ready for it.
I think we've got a pretty big March coming to you next week. What do you reckon, Ben?
Yeah, there's some big hits in there. There's some kind of continuations of certain themes that were put out before. So in the past we've done, we've really nailed some certain genres. I won't say too much, but
You're being really
I'm being very cryptic.
coy.
Very cryptic, but basically, if you know that if you've been following some of the genres we've been putting out, we're going to sort of continue on some of those. So
Yeah, I mean it's fair. Like I think for all of them, they're all
basically all of them have a movie that we've put out that is very popular that people love, and this is kind of similar in the same boathouse. So people will hopefully really like this next announcement. Oh, someone said, "What's going on here?" Just building Sandworm and fielding questions if you have any for us. Jeffy said it's a few time zones away, so he has to shut it down for the night. But thanks to Max and the Umbrella team for the opportunity to work on such a great project.
Thanks, Jeff, for being great to work with as well.
Absolutely.
It's been great working out the whole design and having you on board, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to work on something in the future. Catch some more sleep.
Yeah. Take it easy. Enjoy the building. Nice. We will. We have, I think it's Nate here, said, can I be in one of your upcoming Australian movies? Unfortunately, that decision goes higher than myself and Max.
That is beyond our pay grade.
But we've got a bunch of just, we're investing in a bunch of Australian movies as a company, so, if you're an aspiring actor out there, probably cross streams with Umbrella at some point.
Yeah, for those who may have missed it, Umbrella did have a hand in a finger or two, or a hand even in Talk to Me. So
Talk to Me.
One of the ones that we've helped come to life.
And we had Talk to Me. We had Godless, which was a really good hit, and people really loved the Blu-ray, which was fantastic. And a lot of these movies have recently been nominated for actor awards. So we had actor award nominations for Talk to Me, Godless, Suka, Run Rabbit Run, which was a big Netflix hit, and blanking on one. Which am I blanking on? Run, Suka, Godless. If Nikita was here, she'd tell me. Let me have a look.
Nikita jumped on me to tell me that I had a hot mic before, so she's listening. She's half listening.
There's somewhere. And Survival of Kindness was the last one, so a really good Rolf de Heer film. So that's just some of the ones that have recently been nominated for awards, and then on top of that, we've got a lot of things coming out that haven't really been seen much. Thanks, Kire. Checked out Godless recently, I bet, with the new Blu-ray. Yeah, really cool. I saw that at the Myth opening premiere night, and it was just, if you've seen the movie, and in the sort of the last act, there's a very I guess a violent occurrence, and the whole cinema was kind of just speechless. It was great, and yeah, shout out to the whole team behind Godless. They're a fantastic team, really passionate, and really, yeah, really putting the work in to produce really cool stuff. So, but yeah, we've got in the works, kind of not seen by a lot of people yet, but have kind of been on the festival circuit, is Bird Eater, really cool psychological kind of horror film. If you tune into why is Umbrella live? What is this? It's a live build of our Dune Collector's Edition Sandworm brick set. So if you snag that set, you'd
It's in stores right now.
yeah, you can still get it. You'd know that
Buy it on our website as well.
exactly.
We've got some there. You've got some in JB as well.
And you'll see how many hours of fun it is right now. See how long it takes us.
Yeah, not too many, hopefully.
No, we won't be multiple hours of fun. It's at least
You got to get your money's worth,
it's
you know.
10 hours of fun.
Jesus.
No,
When can I go home?
It's a great build, and yeah, obviously if you're a fan of Dune, then you definitely have to check it out. But
You got the great custom artwork as well. Yeah, Shannon just absolutely kicked it out of the park there with the huge sandworm on there.
yeah, so awesome art. I got to keep plugging some Australian films though while we're at it. A lot of people excited for Late Night with the Devil. Max, you saw Late Night with the Devil?
I did watch that recently, and it's a great movie. It's good fun. Just like it's a real vibe to it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. It's absolutely nails the aesthetic of what it's going for. I think it's 80s, is it?
70s. It's super 70s. Yeah.
Late night TV, and yeah, you could imagine it's basically, if I had to elevator pitch it to you, it's a late night TV show. Everything's going wrong, horrible things are happening, and the host is banking on all of the views he's about to get from all of the horrible things happening, so he just keeps it going, keeps
the show
cameras
going. Yeah.
and make sure that everyone's having a good time.
Everyone's watching.
Everyone at home is having a good time. Everyone in the live recording is not having a good time by the end of it. That's why it's no spoilers there.
For those who did buy Godless on Blue through a web store, you probably noticed that we had like an exclusive O-ring, but we also had like a little booklet that was included with it, and like it's something that we're trying to do a bit more going in the future for like Australian movies, where the booklet's like that booklet was actually put together by the team at Godless and helped give an insight in the filmmaking process, essentially, about why they did certain things, how it came about, some behind the scenes stuff, and like we want to kind of spotlight unique Australian cinema and give the people who put these together a chance to kind of talk about movies and how it's come together. And it's something that we're looking to do with some of these upcoming Australian movies that we're talking about. It's like why we gave Talk to Me, other than of course it's a great movie, but we gave Talk to Me a great Australian release because we want to be the advocates and supporters for Australian cinema.
Absolutely.
And then we do something fun like this.
Having a build.
I'm It's step 56. I don't know how many that's out of.
That's alright. We'll make it eventually.
Oh, is it 10 past 3? Alright, it's been an hour. That's not too bad.
Get as much done as we can.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
We do have to go home at some point.
If you're listening in, just let us know what you've been watching recently, Umbrella or not. But been watching anything specific recently, Max?
Late Night with the Devil was the last thing I watched.
I'm always watching Umbrella releases, so I've just recently been watching what we're announcing soon, and obviously I can't say too much about that, but
You don't want to give someone the scoop.
no, but I can talk about what we have recently put out. So we recently put out, a lot of people recently received Lord of Illusions, Red Rock West, the FP, Monkey Shines, and Stigmata. And I watched all of those, and there's some real hitters in there. If you've not seen Lord of Illusions for a while, it's got both the director's cut and the theatrical cut in it. And personally, I still need to get around to watching the director's cut, and I'm really excited for that because if you've seen Lord of Illusions, or if you've seen Hellraiser, you'd know that Clive Barker is a real kind of visionary director. So anything where it's his control is definitely something you should check out. He only directed 3 movies, I think. Lord of Illusions, Hellraiser, and what was the last one? Nightbreed, which stars David Cronenberg.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's just kind of interesting.
Ben, who put together our release of Lord of Illusions, I mean, I can't remember who the artist was, but like the artist who did the Rigid Case is like, it's great. It's so good, that Rigid Case.
Yeah,
and then
fantastic.
he's been in touch with the, I think it's like the Clive Barker archive, and like the essays and like the interviews and stuff in there, and like commentary on that. It's like, it's a real great set if that's your kind of movie, and Clive Barker's your kind of director.
In fact, I didn't get around to it, but I've got to put out some unboxings soon for those. They're all filmed and basically ready to go, so you'll probably see those, I'd say this weekend, which will be good. Everyone's always receptive to the unboxings, which is great. But yeah, we also had Red Rock West, which is just stacked. Like, the cast is unbelievable. It's got Dennis Hopper, who's a bit of a Umbrella legend, being in Mad Dog Morgan as well, and he just plays Dennis Hopper.
Well,
you could imagine, like, I don't even think he's playing a character. Like he's actually just that person in real life.
Same as Super Mario.
Absolutely, same as Super Mario, same as Blue Velvet, if you've seen that. And obviously it's got a really stoic Nick Cage performance, where he's not doing that much. You'd be surprised, because Nick Cage is obviously known for being very
Nick Cage,
and here he's kind of just like your everyman. He's dialed it back a little bit, but this is pretty early. But yeah, fantastic. And then it's also got JT Walsh in it, who when we released it, a fan page, I don't think he'll be tuned in right now, but called JT Walsh, it was just called JT Walsh fan page or something like that, was just the most excited person in the world for the release. And we have an extra on there, a new extra all about JT Walsh and about his sort of career and journey in film, and this guy was just stoked about that, so hopefully he's received it and hopefully he's watched it, because yeah, JT Walsh is one of the great character actors around. So yeah, absolutely great to celebrate him. And then it's also got Lara Flynn Boyle in it, who, if you've seen Twin Peaks, you would obviously know her. It's been a second since I've seen Twin Peaks, so I couldn't tell you her character's name off the top of my head. She's best friends of Sarah Palmer, and she is great in that. She, I believe, wasn't in Fire Walk With Me, which was kind of jarring, but it's a David Lynch film, so you could just say, oh, like, you know, just that's David Lynch.
Yeah, of course.
Actors
Mid scene.
yeah, but you could get away mid scene. But Lara Flynn Boyle was fantastic in Red Rock West anyway, and so it's got 4 really strong actors just going at it. There's one scene in the car where it's just they're all 4 of them in the car, and it's just kind of all gone to hell. And it's one of the best scenes I've seen recently. It's a fantastic scene. And what else? We talked about Monkey Shines briefly. Great George A. Romero film. I recently watched a George A. Romero film called Amusement Park, which was it was lost for.
Yeah.
Well, it was a PSA he did for the elderly and how to treat the elderly, and funnily enough, it's kind of all about it's all about an elderly man who's kind of pushed aside in life and can't really, you know, it's a strange and surreal world that he's in and can't really get grips on it. And it's this fantastic George A. Romero film that he shot in an amusement park, and the story is that the people who greenlit it and asked for him to make it were just very shocked by the outcome and what was shown to them in the end, and it was a bit scary and it was a bit surreal and it was a bit wild, so they shelved it and
like, what
never
did,
got
what did
seen.
they expect?
Yeah, like imagine you're just like, hey George, like this was, I couldn't tell you, I think George was definitely well known at the time. It wasn't when he was just getting a start, but yeah, it was, they were like, no, it's too scary. It's like, yeah, it's George A. Romero, like literally known, maybe not at the time, but known as one of the masters of horror, so yeah, you got a scary PSA.
Who put that out in the end? Because it was
Shut Up
Shut Up.
exclusive.
Oh, okay.
And got that on Blu-ray, but that kind of oh, let me mute us there. Kind of segues me to the podcast. If you're out there and you haven't heard the podcast yet, we've got a Sunbird Screens podcast, which is all about Australian cinema, hosted by Alexi Toliopoulos, who's just an all-round guru of film, and that's been out we've got 4 episodes up now, and that's about Australian horror, exploitation, sort of fringe. We've got one about queer cinema now as well, and we've got a bunch more in the pipeline which are already set up and ready to sort of release, and they'll come out weekly. And on there, actually, if I segue from the George Romero thought, I was watching a recent episode we did, and it has Brian Trenchard Smith. It's all about exploitation. It's all about Brian Trenchard Smith, and he talked about the PSA he did for hospitals about smoking in hospitals and potentially setting it on fire. And he does, and then they gave the reins to Brian Trenchard Smith to do it, and of course he sets Grant Page on fire in a hospital, and it's a makeshift, it's like a fake elevator, but he filmed this crazy exploitation PSA, and he said it went on to kind of be one of the best selling PSAs of all time. Went all over the world and all hospitals started showing it.
Don't set your patients on fire.
Yeah, basically. And I want to say we included that on a release at some point. I can't remember what release it was. But that's one that, if I can, I might try to get that on Broly. It's a real fun one. I think it's about 25 minutes or something. And Brian is still to this day super proud of that release, he says, because it's just, he says it actually probably saved people's lives, which is a pretty cool thing. You don't get to say that about every movie you make.
You may have had been just kind of hinted at it, but like with Broly, he's kind of the one that's getting all that great content up there, and he's the one who's making it look pretty and making it so you can find it. Like, he's doing a great job helping get it all out there, basically.
Yeah. So basically what we're saying is that if you I'm on the social media a lot. If you send a message on Broly, obviously go follow Broly, but if you send us a message there and say, I want this film on Broly, then I can't guarantee we'll get it up, I can't guarantee we'll have it, but if I've come across it, I can just put it to the front of the queue and say, yeah, let's get this on Broly. So definitely reach out if you are dying to see something. We've got a question here that says, what's your favourite country for movies other than Australia? Good question. Some fantastic countries. It would be cliche to say America. A lot of good stuff comes from there, obviously, but recently, just in the past little bit, I've been trying to get into Asian cinema. We're obviously sort of
I was going to say, yeah,
pushing for that here.
I was going to say, like, the Korean stuff that we've kind of been putting out, like, some of that's just fantastic.
Yeah, some great Korean stuff.
I Saw the Devil is probably, I feel like, one of my favorite movies that I saw this year. If you haven't seen I Saw the Devil, it's like 100% worth the watch. It's pretty brutal. It gets some people think it gets a little bit silly near the end, but like, I think it's just such a well put together story. Just
on Korea, we can probably say the answer to that is at the moment we've been really liking Korean film, and there's one of my favorite things about Korean film is there's like a real dry humor to a lot of things they make.
Yeah.
If you've seen Bong Joon-ho stuff, obviously, or even recently we're doing the Lee Chang-dong set, and just in all these movies, and obviously all the movies we've done before, and in the Korean stuff, they can be incredibly dark and confronting, but they always take a minute to have like the most dry, funny moment you could imagine. If anyone's seen Memories of Murder, it's like equally as funny as it is thrilling, and you wouldn't think of that just from looking at the poster or even from trailers or anything like that. It's a real sense of humor that I think it's funny that some countries really perfect certain senses of humor, and it's hard to recreate, and some people potentially fail to recreate it.
And I feel like the humor, like, it doesn't get like too far. Like, everyone kind of rags on Marvel shit these days, where it's like the humor they try and drop in feels so forced and kind of pulls people out of whatever ridiculous situation. But like, I generally find that the humorous moments in Korean stuff, it's always kind of dry and dark, and like it gives it almost a realism, because like no one's 100% serious all the time. Like, something messed up can happen in front of your eyes, and you might hit a beat, and it's like you just say what first comes to you, and it's like you're trying to break the ice.
If something funny happens in real life, it doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing, it's still funny. And so they don't, a lot of Korean directors don't try to cut that out of the film, like those natural human moments where something's just kind of funny or kind of ridiculous, because especially in procedural matters, like and all this stuff where in the Korean films, like crazy brutal things are happening, like there's moments that are just absurd, and it's going to be absurd because that's the nature of like things happening that are just beyond comprehension. It's like at some point it's absurd, so you have to kind of break the ice a bit.
Shrug your arms and just deal with it.
Yeah, and just go, yeah. If you don't laugh, you'll cry or something. But yeah, Korean cinema is great. I enjoy, Japanese cinema and Hong Kong as well are fantastic. And going back to a random thought I had about the humour is that Koreans have that. The Korean cinema has that like real dry humour that they've done well. I was thinking to like British cinema and how they have a very distinct style of humour, or just the UK in general, and a lot of countries do try to replicate that without much success. It's very tied to their culture and their way of life. I don't know, there's been a lot of examples of when Americans have tried to recreate British humour and kind of come up short. I don't know if you watch The In-Betweeners, but...
Oh, The In-Betweeners is great.
In-Betweeners is fantastic, and I love watching side-by-side scene comparisons of UK In-Betweeners versus US In-Betweeners. It's just night and day, like, it's hilarious.
Well, they tried to do it with the IT crowd as well.
Yeah.
And it's like they completely miss the comedy beats in the
Yeah.
pilot. It's like you don't get, because they just replicated that episode completely, but they just don't understand why it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah, it's just like, and when you don't understand why it's supposed to be funny, you just cram in a joke and it just misses the mark a little bit. But I feel like The Office did well to try something a bit different. Like it was, it was not a cut and paste.
Yeah, they kind of went on their own journey a bit, which is fine. But again, like,
but it's trying to recreate. That's when you see some.
The UK Office, though, it's something completely. It's a different beast.
That's what I'm saying. It's definitely quite different. But yeah, in general, the US has their own mark of comedy sometimes. Sometimes.
Nah, they definitely do.
Really got the sand done.
I know. That's how far through I am. I'm done sand. Whew.
Yeah, everyone came for the sandworm and they're getting the sand.
They're just getting sad. They'll be back 3 hours later. You done with the sand yet?
I'm telling you though, the mark of a good build is how you want it savory. You want it to take a little while.
Yeah, you don't want it to be like I'm done in 10 minutes.
I think a lot of people probably don't realise that the build is a lot of bricks. What is it, like 700 plus?
Yeah, I think it's like 780 or something.
Yeah, it's a lot of bricks, and it's pretty massive. So it's like I feel like almost the ultimate viewing experience of Dune is chucking it on, cracking out the bricks, watching it while you're building.
The ultimate viewing experience.
Yeah, sorry, I've just plugged out Release as the ultimate experience. It's Kiro says, I reckon this will take me 7 copies to complete. Yeah, it's
I don't know if that's fast or slow. I feel like you smashed the copies, Kiro.
Yeah.
You're kind of telling me you're going to finish it in 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's 7 at once, isn't it, Kiro? It's not 7 during the course. 7 at once and do it in 15 minutes and we're done. But yeah, we'll see how much we get through today. Unfortunately, I'm slacking over here and I'm just waffling about random things instead of building. So
No, you're keeping the stream interesting. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, actually, this is my dream. I have these thoughts and I usually don't think about it. So.
I messed that bit up. I'm not going to worry about that.
So yeah, it is my dream to just sit on a live stream and waffle for a while. We need as many questions as possible because I will go off on on long tangents about any question you have. Kire says the cups are never big enough. Yeah, we'll have to make an umbrella cup next, and
Add it to the list.
jumbo cup just for mega coffee here.
Who wants umbrellas? Is that what everyone's really holding out for?
Yeah, we'll get there. You never know.
This time next week we're off.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope everyone's got big plans for the break. I do need to catch up on some movies, actually. It sounds cliche, but I've got a bit of a pile up of movies that I need to watch. Umbrella keeps me busy watching all the stuff we're putting out.
You don't have to say you need to watch. You want to watch,
No,
right?
no, I want to watch the Umbrella stuff, but I need to watch. I have a lot of other stuff that isn't Umbrella. But I do actually want to watch it. I shouldn't say need. It does sound a bit pessimistic. I do want to watch it, but I think everyone out there probably, if you're a big film buff and that, you know that sometimes you watch something and it can be a bit of a chore, but it depends what you're watching. I don't want to plug too many other brands, but actually we do have a good relationship with Vinegar Syndrome, so I will be plugging their brand. I got the Vinegar Syndrome Lost Picture Show set coming in soon, and that's 10 movies that have never been seen before. Literally almost no presence in online or anywhere, and I think probably a handful of people that saw it went screened 40, 50 years ago. And it's funny enough that the general consensus of that set is that most of them are probably not going to be that good, but it's all about the film preservation. All about the whole package of experience something for the first time that's been lost. And it's got a whole documentary on there about film preservation that I'm excited to see, because obviously that's something that we're pretty passionate about too. Where, obviously Vinegar Syndrome do it on a insane scale, where they're saving things from, everywhere. If you've seen some of their behind the scenes, they've got full archives in their possession with hundreds and hundreds of reels that are left unscanned. But if I move the camera now, you'd see that in our room here we've got probably 6 boxes. I know there's probably more around of film canisters that we dug out of somewhere.
Do you want to grab one?
What's
on the top there?
They kind of,
you don't want to give too much away. What's on top?
But they all kind of say the name of the film.
Take the sticky note off.
Let me get the. They're mega though. Wait, let me just get a little. This doesn't even say anything on it. Here you are. Oh, they're bloody heavy too.
We've got so many tins. We're sitting in the boardroom at the moment, and we've just got, on one side of our boardroom is just boxes of tins of reels of film.
Yeah, and it's just it's stuff that we went and literally got out of a storage container, and
from the director as well, right?
From the director.
From the director.
And word straight from him is that it's stuff that hasn't been seen since the release of the movie, and if we're able to restore some of it, it's going to be really awesome. And be the first time that people have seen it, maybe even first time anyone but the director's seen some of this stuff. So, and this is a really big Australian film, so very excited if we can ever get all that sorted.
Pull it off.
But that's the thing; it's a big commitment to to restore films, but something that Umbrella is trying to do for a lot of Australian stuff. And even I'll plug again. I'll keep plugging on Broly as well. We have some films even that Umbrella has restored that have kind of never been out on disc. These are some pretty small Australian films, so they're a bit harder to put on disc, but they're on Broly, fully restored. One called Father, one called Fran, and you can watch those now, and they're just really cool Australian films that really probably no one until they've been on Broly have seen them in HD. So it might be a first chance to actually check some of those out. I don't even know if they're streaming anywhere else. They're really quite small films, but we're interested in restoring not only some of those big films, but some of the small stuff too. And we can't give too much away, but we do have a release in the future that will have have some new restorations in it. It's going to be really fun, so definitely keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, that's kind of what we hope makes Umbrella special, is trying to restore that Australian content.
Yeah.
And I know that I think some people have kind of said that we've put it on the back burner, and I don't think it's necessarily that we put it on the back burner, as we're trying to make sure that we're restoring this stuff properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like trying to get it to as many people that we think will care as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. We need to do it right and really make sure we get the release big. And the great thing about it is, like, if we pull it off, then it means that a lot of people, a lot of our Australian fans have already sort of seen these movies and are obviously really excited to revisit them. But part of the mission, I guess, is just getting people from other countries to be like, I've never seen an Australian film, or one of these Ozploitation films or anything like that, and then all of a sudden they get hooked because it's just really fun. It's good cinema. I think I was listening to that Trenchard Smith podcast episode, and he was saying that, because I know that in the 60s we just really didn't have much film presence, and I forgot which government it was, but they basically said, like, we're going to put ourselves on the map for film, and they just started giving everyone money. And Brian was saying, like, you just had to be there, like they were just handing out money, and just you would just line up for it. But he's wicked. He was saying about how he got Man from Hong Kong made, and it was actually, he'd gone to he'd gone to Hong Kong to talk with to do a documentary on Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee had actually passed away when he had arrived. He had heard of it when he landed in Hong Kong. So instead, he kind of shifted his focus a bit to do like a tribute for Bruce Lee, and he was kind of he just used that and hung around, and he made an excuse to come back to Hong Kong to do a small documentary on stunts and things like that. And just while he's there, he's like, oh, let's make Man from Hong Kong, and they were involved. So.
And that's kind of like, I mean, it's a little bit political. It's like when you have properly funded arts, that's when fun stuff can come out, and interesting art can happen.
Yeah, you gotta. It builds up, like, some of these films are absolute time capsules of Australian culture that you just almost couldn't get anywhere else. You go back and watch some of these films where they're the Brian Trenchard Smith stuff, or where they're Bruce Beresford films, or someone mentioned The Club earlier, and those sort of films, and they're just like a really good insight into Australian culture, and I think we ourselves get a kick out of them, but I think that international markets can watch those films and really understand what a bit about Australia, you get a bit of an insight, even though we're usually painted as a bit rough, a bit ruffian, you know. But that's part of the culture. So
Well, I mean, there's the classic wake and fright, isn't there? That's
that's
kind
what I was
of.
going to say. Yeah, if again the directors of Bird Eater were on the podcast, and Bird Eater is a newer, really new, not out yet. It's going to be out next year. Australian film that's just fantastic. It's a bit of a homage to Wake in Fright, and they were on the podcast, and they kind of said, "Wait, what's this?" Thanks, Peter.
He's on the ball there.
Yeah, you got that one right. But yeah, the boys that made Bird Eater, obviously big fans of Wake in Fright, and they kind of on the podcast they kind of say, you know, if you're not familiar with Australian culture, then it's a horror movie. But if you're familiar with Australian culture, it's kind of a dark comedy because you just it reflects people that you know in real life, and it's that's probably to me what makes Wake in Fright so scary, is that it's not positioned as a scary movie. Before I watched Wake in Fright, I sort of thought, you know, oh, you know, this movie is going to be a straw dogs of sorts. It's going to be, you know, guy does something wrong that pisses off the locals, and now every local with a gun is, you know, hunting him down. But the scariest part about Wake in Fright is that everyone in that movie, literally everyone's super hospitable,
Yeah.
is absolutely going out of their way to
Why don't you have a drink, mate?
yeah to make this guy feel at home, to, you know, just give him the best experience of Australia as possible. Or,
Gabba.
you know, yeah, and that's the scariest part, is that it's nothing about it is actually scary, but it's so confronting in that it's just it's so full on. If you haven't seen Wake in Fright, it's absolutely a recommendation of ours. And Bird Eater is very similar in a lot of ways. It's a film where if you know people like that in real life, it's almost, yeah, it has a different feel to it than if you don't. If you don't know people like that, you know, it can be pretty confronting. But if you know people like that, I tell you, it's still confronting, but it's a little bit more recognizable and familiar. So it's not so scary. But
I have not seen Bird Eater yet.
yeah.
But you're.
Unfortunately, I have met people like the characters in Bird Eater, and yeah, it's a fantastic film. So once it comes out, I definitely highly recommend that everyone tries to see it. Ooh, Kira says, see if you can do something with a Aussie film called Running from the Guns. Still only on VHS. Thanks, Kira. I'll write that one down. Again, just with recommendations, like, you know, I write down basically everything people ask for. It's in a big sort of master list, and that's something we can refer to in the future if we you know, come across it, or if we want to go chasing some films. Running from the Guns. And yeah, things that have only been on VHS are obviously quite fun.
The hard part becomes finding materials at that point, when it's only a VHS
Yes.
release.
That's yeah, and one of the other things with Broly is that we you know, some films that we do want to chuck up there, but they only have you know, pretty bad masters. So that's something we're trying to work out and improve those masters, existing masters, whether that's, you know, through actually finding the original reels, or, you know, through doing scans, or just running the digital sort of digibeta files, and trying to get something good out of that, because, you know, it depends what the film is, but not too many people want to watch a VHS rip, so trying to get some good quality stuff up there.
But like, one of the good things with Broly is like some of the stuff is SD, right?
Yeah.
So like some of the stuff that's up in Broly, we just can't find better materials, and
Yeah.
you know, it's not, you don't really want to put out an SD
Upscale.
upscale for a blue. You don't really want to put it out on DVD because you know it's just not going to get the same respect. But you know, Broly's a great place where that can kind of live and people can find it and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's hopefully the goal, is that, you know, some of these films haven't been out on disc for 10, 15 years, and you know, people, I know one thing we're putting out soon on Broly, and it's actually got such a legendary Australian actor, both television, one of the biggest legends of Australian television, but also of a lot of Umbrella films, actually, a lot of real classic Umbrella films, and that's going to be on Broly in the future, and likely for the first time that it's really been on any service. So that's definitely one to watch out for, because it's probably going to be the first time people have been able to see it since maybe it was in cinemas, or maybe even just on local television. So
is that not one you can mention? We're keeping it on the down low on this one.
Keep it on the down low, just
okay,
because we're still making sure we have all the materials and
of course,
everything like that.
You don't want to get people's hopes up and then have to dash them.
But I tell you, it's one of my favourite Australian character actors. You cannot go wrong with him. I won't give his name. I won't give the movie away. But if anyone out there has a favourite Australian character actor, we have a lot of good ones. It's worth letting me know what your favourites are. I personally think Bruce Spence is always fantastic in everything he's in. If you guys have seen Midnight Spares, Bruce is and David Argue actually are just fantastic in that. Oh, looks like we've got some people over on YouTube.
There we go. It's Terry Talks.
How's it going, Terry? Ultimate wish list video is a release of Darker Than Amber. I'm writing these down. It's a true unicorn of physical media. Alright. Darker Than Amber.
Let's try and cage up that unicorn. Get it onto a blue.
And then someone said, hey guys, how excited are you for the Super Mario Brothers 4K release? Well, we've got the mastermind of it right here, so...
Well, Ben has helped us a lot, actually, with the release, so... Hey, Ben. I think everyone's super excited for Super Mario. We've got stacked with extras, which Ben and Stephen have both helped us with. And we've received some images of what the rigid cases are going to look like, and the books are they're great. The stuff in the books is crazy, and the size of these books, like this is a great set. Even if you don't think that the movie's the best movie in the world, like we're not gonna
debate that.
That's not really the debate here. But the amount of effort and work that so many people put in behind the scenes for this movie, it's just amazing. Like the amount of concept art and creativity and like the puppetry, and all the set design. It's just it's a crazy movie. I reckon it's actually worth buying the set, even if you haven't seen the movie, just for the book. We've got two books. We've got the scripts, which show some of the changes throughout the rewrites, and then we've got a big behind-the-scenes book with some interviews and stuff like that. And if you're, as we probably all are here, if you're right into cinema, it's definitely one to check out to see
absolutely
how the sausage gets made, I guess, in some ways.
Well, I personally, some of those movies stick with me a lot longer than like the real controversial movies where people hate it, people love it, and those are movies that stick with me a bit longer because I'm kind of, I see why people hate it, I can see why people love it, and I'm getting mixed feelings here, and it's a bit more fun sometimes than a movie that's just universally beloved. You gotta spice it up occasionally and go for something a bit more.
Yeah, a bit of controversy.
More controversial.
You got to develop that controversial opinion so you can have a debate with someone.
Yeah, the debates on Super Mario Brothers in the comments are always really, really entertaining. Unfortunately, I don't even have enough time to keep up with them these days when we've got, ads on and things like that, but people they go back and forth in the comments and it's great. Harry said, looking forward to Rib Spreader. I'm assuming you've got your copy of Rib Spreader, Terry. It's a wild movie. I'd seen it just before we put it out there, and it's a trip, And it's great to see we've got a lot of really budding filmmakers out there that are just doing really crazy off the wall stuff. We've got obviously Dick Dale with Rib Spreader. On the podcast as well was Alice Mayo McKay, who has done a bunch of really low budget Aussie horrors as well. And so we kind of got something going on, and a lot of this is coming out of Adelaide, which is really really crazy. I forgot what Alex Heller Nicholas called it recently, but there's something going on in Adelaide where there's a lot of really good filmmakers making low budget horror and just killing it, like doing amazing stuff. Another one is You'll Never Find Me, which will come out as well. Will come out on a few services, and that was at MIF, and that's where I saw it. And again, just really good young filmmakers, Aussie filmmakers, just doing some great work. So yeah, absolutely, definitely check out anything that's coming out of Adelaide from in the genre space, and we're definitely got our finger on that as well, making sure that whatever does come out, we're trying to get on board with it, because it's some cutting edge stuff. It's definitely worth looking out for.
I haven't seen Rib Spreader. You want to sell it to me?
I'll sell Rib Spreader live on stream. It's just nuts. It's a fever dream. It's a guy whose own mother had passed away from smoking, and he, for years and years, he was the spokesman of cigarettes. The Australian spokesman of this big cigarette chain, and everyone recognises him as the guy that was on the cigarette ads. And
this is the Brian one, right?
Yeah, this is the Brian one, and so he has this existential guilt and crisis that he's got all these people to smoke, and his own mother has passed away from it. So instead of getting therapy, Brian decides to suit up and kill everyone who is a smoker brutally. Because he's haunted by a cigarette butt that tells him to kill people.
Sounds like a sensible movie.
It's sensible. Terry, definitely watch that when you crack it open when it arrives. I need to check out some more Dick Dale stuff. I know that Ben Helwig, who does Monster Pictures and was sort of behind that release.
Yeah, he did Rib Spreader and Mad Heidi, were the latest ones that have come out from.
Also helped us with Houseboat Horror and Lord of Illusions and other things.
Monkey
like
Shines, I think, as well. Yeah, he Ben's great. He does
fantastic,
yeah.
And he's a big fan of Dick Dale and the kind of, well, it's self-proclaimed trash. I don't want to call it trash. It's fantastic.
I think he does.
It's self-proclaimed trash. So definitely worth keeping an eye out for Rib Spreader. Terry said, how can you not love a movie where Dennis Hopper is in it playing a lizard? Dennis Hopper's fantastic, and he just leans into everything he does.
I mean, you got to be fair. I don't think Dennis Hopper likes it either.
No.
I'm pretty sure Dennis Hopper is quoted as saying son asked him why he did Super Mario Brothers. Why did you do something so bad, Father? And his response was, well, it helped pay for those shoes. And his son said, I don't need shoes that bad, Dad.
I know Bob Hoskins didn't really know what he was doing in it either. I don't think he knew what Mario was. We got Elise said, Aussie classic Christmas movie for my childhood, Bushfire Moon. You know, I've heard about Bushfire Moon before. Someone had mentioned that to me, so I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. And the great thing about stuff like that, Elise, is that, you know, if it's a smaller film that is from, you know, a while ago and you know, and not too many people are super familiar with it, you know, that's the sort of thing that maybe we might not be able to do on disc, but it's the sort of thing that we can absolutely do on Broly. And people, I think, are reliving a lot of their older memories on Broly, because we're seeing things like Skippy have a ton of viewers, and you know, our most viewed movie is Death in Brunswick, which is just insane to think when we have movies like Possession and Kids and all that, The Hitcher and everything up, and then Death in Brunswick is the most watched, and then The Two Ronnies is right up there with the most watched. And you know, we're seeing a lot of the classic Australian stuff is getting a lot of traction, so it's really heartening to see that people are enjoying that, and so we're going to continue to get stuff up. We've got a drink break here.
Thank you. You want to join?
Okay. Yeah, good.
Just got some hydration replenishment.
Yeah, and yeah, Kire says Ben is a wealth of knowledge, good bloke. Yeah, Ben's fantastic, and if you are around to see, go to Monster Fest when it's on. It's Monster Fest, they play in all the major Australian cities, and it's always a cracking event. We went to the Monster Fest opening night. We went to a few of our own screenings there, and it's always a cracker. One of the benefits of working at Umbrella is that you get to go to a lot of screenings, and sometimes you're just there for the ride, you know. Went to the screening recently of Caligula. A lot of you would have seen that we've been releasing Caligula theatrically, or we're going to do some more stuff around Caligula the Ultimate Cut theatrically, and I went to see that, and it's a trip. It's definitely worth a watch.
It's really something. I haven't seen it.
It's an absolute experience. And
is it a family movie?
It's not a family movie at all. I was there
just a historical biography.
Historical biography. I was there with James. If you know James, he was on the Serial at Midnight podcast, and you know, a big part of the releases here. And I was with James, and we were just, you know, casually two co-workers watching some crazy historically inaccurate things happening on screen. So
I wonder which movie is like more historically inaccurate, Caligula or Napoleon?
What, shooting the pyramids? I'll have to. I actually haven't seen Napoleon, so I have to. Actually, James has seen both.
We can get his comparison.
James, what do you reckon? Terry said the graveyard scene in Death in Brunswick is chef's kiss. Wonderful. Yeah, Death in Brunswick is awesome. Obviously, we had the sunburnt screens for it, and then the Vinegar Syndrome release of it as well. And you know, I think a lot of people are discovering that film, and it's pretty surreal. We're not far away from Brunswick, so it's pretty surreal that it's just set, you know, 20-minute drive from here. I know that a few of the guys are going to an event in Brunswick this afternoon, so it's pretty surreal that we're a stone's throw away from where Sam Neill was just walking the streets and, you know, doing all sorts of stuff. So it's good that's something we can sort of, you know, enjoy. I think we've got a really good film culture. And then, yeah, Terry said Rib Spread's trailer has a solid Troma vibe about it. Definitely a lot of Troma aspects to it. Yeah, I want to drop a name of some things that were picked up that will probably make it to Broly eventually, but I'll keep it on the down low.
Yeah, you don't want to.
No, but yeah, we've got, we're Umbrella. We've got some schlock in the wings. That's
Yeah, of course.
that's a guarantee. So just know that there will be some schlocky titles. I recently watched Houseboat Horror for the first time, and have you seen Houseboat Horror?
I think I watched part of it. I didn't get all the way through.
I was actually, I was just floored because it's really it's touted as kind of a really bad movie, one of the kind of so bad it's good movies, but I was surprised that I actually thought this has a lot of promise. I'm not just saying that either. I know people.
You're not just spooking out.
I'm not even just trying to sell it. I was like, you know what? I get it. I get the so bad it's good thing, but this, it had a little bit of promise, and towards the end, probably third act, there's a kill in it. No spoilers there. I mean, it's Houseboat Horror. There's
kills all over the place, kills, right?
But there's a kill in it that is insanely impressive. It's I can't even explain it. It's like the kind of the most mundane kills, and then the most impressive kill that I've seen in like the whole year happens. And I honestly, I can't sell it more than that. That you just watch it and just wait, and it's about 2 seconds of screen time, and I've hyped it up beyond belief. You'll probably be disappointed, but it's fantastic. So definitely check it out.
No, there's so many movies that you kind of watch for that one scene.
Yeah,
that's alright.
Terry said, "Thanks for introducing me to the Terrifier movies. Really enjoyed Art the Clown. How good are the Terrifier movies, Terry? They're just I was skeptical going in, but once I watched them and experienced it, I was just sold. So we're super excited for the release of 3 next year, and even we're in anticipation, that
I mean
what's going to happen.
The best thing with the Terrifier movies is they know what they are. They're not trying to be anything else. You know when you buy the ticket to watch the movie exactly what you're in for, and you're there for it. There's no pretending I'm something else. That's movies like A24 movies. Like, they're great. Don't get me wrong, but they've got this air about them that they're trying to what do they call it? Elevated horror.
Yeah.
No, Terrifier's like, don't worry about that. Let's just get some crazy shit going on.
Get some crazy kills. But there's a few moments in Terrifier 2 that are absolutely shocking. That it's hard to comprehend some of the moments in all of them. In All Hallows Eve, there's specifically a key moment like that is just insane. There's Terrifier 1 obviously has a lot of those moments, and then Terrifier 2 has hundreds of those moments. So Terrifier 3, it could have, who knows. But let's say from that teaser trailer, I don't think that little kid is safe. That's something I realised from Terrifier early on. I thought kids were safe. Kids are not safe in the Terrifier world.
Nah, they're fodder.
Oh, Terry, we were watching the Civil War trailer just recently in the office. Looks like a fantastic movie. Alex Garland is obviously a fantastic director. I know you like Ex Machina.
Yeah, I like Ex Machina. I like Annihilation.
Yep.
I quite like Men.
Yep.
But Men was kind of went left of field pretty near the end there.
Yeah, and anyway, A24 going into something a bit more blockbustery, maybe? Is it?
Yeah. Well, did you hear they announced Hajime Kiyama Death Stranding movie?
No.
Yeah.
Death Stranding by Del Toro, is it? All good. um, yeah, I don't know about Death Stranding.
We're all good, Nikita.
Yeah, no,
I think they're supposed to be sound.
Yeah, we're intentionally live, thank God, because when we were setting it up, I was like, if we go live by accident, I'm gonna have a heart attack. But no, we're intentionally live, doing a Dune build if you've just rocked up, and I still don't think we'll finish it, but you can kind of see the markings of the Sandworm coming together, and it's big and it's an awesome build, and once it's done, it's pretty ferocious. It's got a bunch of teeth, and it looks mean as hell. So
I think I will finish. I think I'm gonna get through this. It's gonna happen.
Well, you're kind of on the
track
part, right? Like where you getting the shape of the worm going.
Yeah, this is worm building time.
Yeah. This is what you came for, guys. But yeah, no. The Civil War trailer looks fantastic, but yeah, it's a very like you said, Terry. It's a very potent bit of subject matter. So I guess we'll see the response once it comes out, and you know, obviously it's going to be a great movie, but hopefully it's also
I didn't watch the trailer. Like,
I don't know.
How are they kind of?
Well,
what kind of movie is it kind of going for?
It's a modern day Civil War.
Oh, it's modern. Yeah.
Yeah, it's imagine if the sort of states or the people kind of turned on each other in modern day, and
they're going on the nose, are they?
It's pretty on the nose. It's pretty. It revolves around the president, who's kind of, some people are theorizing that he's overstaying his welcome. He's doing a third term. So that's kind of, I think it's still up in the air what exactly it's about.
I wonder who they're talking about. I don't know. That's tough.
That's a tough one. But yeah, over here in Australia, I guess we're not quite in the know about all that sort of stuff. But it'll be interesting to see how America reacts to it once it comes out. A civil war in Australia would be pretty interesting. It would be a bit more relaxed, I think.
A bit more relaxed. just throwing tinnies at each other.
If you learn anything from our Ozploitation films, you know that the battles and fights in Australia are usually a bit more relaxed.
I think we're actually constantly at civil war with the animals here. Who gets to actually live here?
Exactly. That's like half of our movies. Anyone seen? Everyone out there has to have seen the Long Weekend. Fantastic movie about animals not taking kindly to the locals, and just stating their claim and saying, yeah, we're taking it back. So if you haven't seen that, it's a fantastic movie. Ben said it was a dream come true to help out with the Super Mario set. So you're most welcome. Thanks, Ben. Quick follow-up. Do you guys know if the rights to Toho's films are up for grabs locally? Kurosawa, Godzilla, etc.
I think Toho is a tricky one. Toho's pretty. I think they're pretty closed normally to like outside distributors. So I don't know if anyone's working on it, but yeah, that'd be a great get. Know that there's some stuff in there, like you said, from Kurosawa that hasn't been on Blu-ray before. So I'm sure a lot of people are hustling for that. And then, some obviously the Godzilla stuff. The new Godzilla being out has really got people excited about that, which is awesome. I've only heard good things about the new Godzilla. Have you? Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
In IMAX here, and I was like, I should just bite the bullet and go watch it in IMAX. It'll be fantastic. I know nearly nothing about it.
This is -1, yeah?
-1. Yeah. But I just didn't get around to it, which was a shame. I wonder if it's still on. I might have to...
Well, I looked it up last weekend. It was showing at VMAX.
Terry said, I saw Long Weekend when it first came out, even more confronting back then. It's honestly, again, Terry, we have these, we have a kind of lineage of films in Australia that aren't necessarily horror films, but are like really scary films. Long Weekend is absolutely one of those. I'm sure that it was marketed as a horror film, but obviously, if you've seen it, it's kind of a it's kind of the animals aren't there's not lions and tigers and bears coming out of the woods. There's not people getting mauled to death. It's kind of getting taunted by the animals almost, and it's a real good look at Australia and how we can sort of forget sometimes the wildlife here is one of our best assets. So definitely a fantastic film, and one that everyone should definitely check out. Ben said Madman used to have the rights to the toe stuff, but it looks like they have lapsed. Yeah, not too sure about that, Ben, but yeah, if so, then absolutely.
Maybe have the other ones minimised as well so you can see the Facebook in the stream.
Oh yeah, true. I don't think Facebook's popping off. Gotta love you and leave you fellas off to work. Good luck, Kire. Hopefully.
Maybe we'll be done when you get back.
Yeah, we'll still be live when you're back. Don't worry. But yeah, hopefully that's good for you, Kire. And we'll see you at the next announcement for sure.
Next week.
Next week. That's an inside scoop on the live, isn't it?
What, next week's announcement day?
Yep. Get ready, people. Let's have a quick look at these. Oh, I've lost my chat.
Oh no.
Well, I lost the bottom. Oh, not that. Here we are. Yeah, exactly, Terry. It's actually a lot of it is very long weekend for people who haven't seen it. There's a lot of themes underneath the surface about the relationship between the two main characters, and that in itself is at times quite confronting. It's a story that has a lot of horrors to it. It's more than one. So if anyone hasn't seen Long Weekend, again, that's on Broly. We've got all the hitters up. So definitely check that out. And yeah, Terry as well, Godzilla Minus One is next level. Yeah, it's absolutely going to be one that I have to check out. And really fun to see that apparently it's probably going to eclipse, I think it was $70 million. And it's got one of the best second weekends in, I think it was America in recent history.
Oh, nice.
So obviously a lot of word of mouth going around, and which is great to see, because when art is good, it deserves to have a chance, even if it's an international film. And I think
was it like people were saying it had like quite a small budget as well, like 15 mil or something?
Yeah.
It'd be nice for movies to kind of refocus back to creating interesting stuff on low, like small. I mean, is 15 million really a small budget? But like on like smaller budgets, and just like make interesting stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's kind of what's happening here with some of the stuff we're doing. Just a bit smaller budget, but making sure that it has the right people making it, and the right budgets that doesn't always get you a good story. So the right story, the right people making it, and that's all you need to make a good film. Do you have any films that you love that are stick out as real low budget films?
Ooh,
off the top of my head, I'll go back. I'll keep plugging George Romero here, because Monkey Shines and that, but his original Night of the Living Dead is one of my favourites, and that's obviously very shoestring budget, one location, black and white imagery, even when they had the colour capabilities at that point, and just stunning, a really great piece of work. Dale said, any idea when we can expect your release of Caligula with the eyes?
No comment.
Yeah, no comment on that. I hope you heard my breakdown of Caligula earlier when I saw it at the British Film Festival recently. It's definitely a fun movie to watch with a crowd of slightly uncomfortable people.
British stiff upper lip.
Yeah, don't watch it with your parents, and you'll be alright. But real fun movie still. But yeah, I like a good low budget film. It's kind of freeing to, because when you see a real big budget film hit the mark and do everything right, it's very impressive. But you kind of, part of me is, that's the expectation with that sort of money behind it. Like, if it's not at this level, then it's, at that point it's like, that's probably failed. But when there's not too much money behind a film, there's not too many I don't really have too many expectations, because if you miss the mark, everything wasn't there to begin with. But when it pulls it off, it's absolutely stunning.
I feel like sometimes art thrives with like restrictions. Like you have to get creative, and like you have to, things become metaphors because you can't necessarily directly do it.
Someone saying like, even for anything but a movie, someone saying, here's near unlimited money. Like, it's almost like I wouldn't know where to start. I would have way better idea of where to start if someone said, here's no money. And I go, okay, what can I do for no money? And all of a sudden the ideas start coming. I know, in fact, I had made films. It's like, I know this person can get me this for free, and I know I can shoot here for free. And all of a sudden the story starts to come together because, this is the only location I have. You look at Undead, for instance, Spirit Brothers film that we had put out on Blu-ray, a fantastic low-budget film, and that's a good example of filmmakers that very much tied to what they had on hand. And so, for instance, they have a van in the film, and the van is a central part of the story, and the story goes that they just were like, we've got the van, we need to make the most out of it. It's it's a bit of a piece, so it's not going to last. We're not going to be able to sell it or anything. So they just wrote in like a van crash into the story, where the van just gets totaled in a crash.
Because why not?
Because it's like we've got the van, we've already paid for it. We're not getting anything out of this, so we'll crash it. And it wouldn't be so fun if you had unlimited money to crash the van. Then why are we crashing the van for?
Was that in the script?
Yeah,
You're like,
no,
no,
it wasn't in the script. Why are we crashing the van for?
But everyone's going to be paid to you got the lighting, you got everyone here. You're going to waste money by just crashing it for no reason.
Yeah.
But there's like 4 people on set. You're like, let's do it.
Yeah, what is the only only expensive stunt we can pull off? It's crashing the van, and it's like, okay, let's do it.
And how can we make this interesting and exciting?
Yeah, but Undead is a really just a fun movie. It's it has all the shades of Night of the Living Dead, and the Sam Raimi stuff as well, the Evil Dead and things like that, and but it has a sci-fi twist, and it's insane that for the price and the and the cast and crew, what they pulled off. The Spirit Brothers are absolutely some of our best filmmakers for sure, and obviously Predestination, and they end up doing some stuff with Saw franchise, and Daybreakers, and one of the favourite things about the Spirit Brothers is that they always bring it back to Australia somehow, even when they're making these big blockbuster movies in America. You often see some familiar faces from Australia pop up. So I know in Predestination is full of familiar faces. I think Bruce Spencer's in a few. Just character actors that you'd see around.
Wasn't Predestination shot in Australia?
Predestination was shot in Australia, but say Daybreakers, American movie with Sam Neill in it. Let me look this up. This is actually interesting me now, because I know a lot of their films have a lot of good Australian actors in them. Let me have a look.
Take it to the board.
Take it to the IMDb. That's where I live. Or Letterboxd IMDb. It's up to you. So your Predestination has Sam Neill in it. Bunch of familiar faces. Let's check out Winchester. Winchester has Sarah Snook in it, who obviously is one of our biggest stars in Australia. Had worked with them before. And that's Winchester has Bruce Spencer in it as well, who's always fantastic, and a bunch of other familiar faces there. So they always bring it back a little bit, bring it home. And obviously they can't shoot everything in Australia now, but I'm sure they'll make it back here eventually and keep going. Undead, full of a lot of people that weren't really actors, weren't really professionals, were kind of just shoo-ins, and they just smashed it. So I think they were saying, they thought, it might play to some family and friends, and then next minute it was playing on 140 screens worldwide, and was picked up internationally. I can't remember who picked it up, but a big studio, and all of a sudden it just took off. So it's the sort of stories you like to see. If you're just joining, feel free to send through any questions. And we're just hoping to answer as many as possible. But Sandworm is officially coming together.
It's looking wormy.
Absolutely. Terry says the sound effects of Undead were done on 2002 laptop, which it just goes to show the commitment. I know that the Speary brothers were just, they filmed it, and then they just spent next however many months in their room just doing their own effects, visual effects, sound effects, everything like that, and it is really impressive. If you see the movie, there's some effects in it that are stunning, and really you wouldn't think that it was just two blokes, putting it together on a 2002 laptop, as you said. That's the sort of stuff, like even since working at Umbrella, just discovering all those absolute essential Australian films. And Undead's one of them, but we've got a lot. Still got more to discover. And luckily, people here, they've got a lot of history with Australian films and have seen a ton of them, and that's what really gets us over the line to putting out good stuff. Now obviously everyone's suggestions as well. People give us suggestions all the time. I know that Houseboat Horror was a suggestion for a long time before it happened, and if you say something enough, we'll start hearing it and say, okay, let's try to get it, let's try to do it.
Did you see the monster April Fool's post that they did about Houseboat? They made a Houseboat Horror April Fool's post one year saying a Blu-ray was being announced.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But did it get traction? It was.
It was like it was a big post for them, but like here we go. for some reason, here we are, just listening to the April Fool's posts.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it. You know?
It's Umbrella.
Yep. Yeah, you got to preserve these films, and yeah, there's plenty more coming, as we kind of alluded to, in the coming months or years. For as long as Umbrella is around, you're going to see a lot of great Australian cinema sort of coming back from obscurity in some cases. Well, looks like we're paused up on Facebook a bit, but probably just buffering. We'll get there.
How many people we got in the stream? 3? 2?
About 5 on YouTube, 3 on Facebook, 4 on Instagram.
Yeah, there you go.
The loyal followers. Glad that, you know.
It makes sweating in front of this this light box.
Yeah, at least we've got someone to talk to. But yeah, it's a good chance to just people, if they've got questions or want to connect with us somehow, then we're definitely open to anything.
This is your chance.
This is the chance. We're nearly open book, but not quite. Can't quite say everything, but I'll definitely skip around the answer and say everything but the answer sometimes. But that's all you can do.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil the surprises. That's what it is. It's like, you know.
That's really a lot of the fun.
Yeah, like you don't want to open your Christmas presents now. You gotta wait and find out.
You know, guys, I'll admit it. The worst part about working on Umbrella is that I no longer am surprised about what we're putting out, because I know what we're putting out well in advance. Which, you know, just trust me, the element of surprise is really fun. And just, yeah, jumping on social one day and just seeing a movie that you love, or a movie that maybe you even haven't heard of but is just right up your alley, is coming out, and then going and doing that research and checking out the movie and making a decision. You know, that's all the fun of it. So announcement days, definitely cherish those. They're always fun. And they're also fun in the office, fun and stressful. There's a lot of moving parts, but I feel like we usually get off with a bit of a bang. We usually
make it happen somehow.
Yeah, you wouldn't see anything other than it just happening normally, but behind the scenes we are working hard to get everything ready. Terry said Barry Peake's movie Future Schlock and The Big Hurt would be cool releases. Future Schlock is one that I've come across a few times. The Big Hurt, one might be new to me, but I've got my list going, Terry, so keep them coming. Lady Thornblood said, my Monkey Shines arrives in the UK today. So stoked, it's a beautiful release and very much deserved one. That's awesome. We see that art and things come in for these movies, you know, because obviously we get some really talented artists to put together all of these releases when it comes to the rigid cases and things like that. And when Monkey Shines came in, it was pretty, we all knew, like, that's kick-ass.
Yeah, it's great artwork.
It was pretty stunning, so we were super excited to get that out. And again, a little behind the scenes thing, a lot of people might not know, but that one produced by Ben Helwig, who does some fantastic releases. And if you're a fan of Lord of Illusions, is also just a new one, but like Houseboat Horror is one of our most extensive releases. If you haven't seen that, it's got special features coming out of everywhere and all sorts of new stuff, and the booklet is packed, and you know, that's just Ben Helwig's special. He'll always put in a bunch of cool stuff that everyone wants to see. So Monkey Shines is one of those, and yeah, definitely one to enjoy. And
it's always with those types of releases, like, it's always tough with new artwork.
Yeah.
You know, you sometimes listen to feedback online when someone does something different with
Yeah.
a release, and everyone's just smashing the artwork.
The
They're like, it's
Exorcist.
just, how could you? Well, this
Okay.
is terrible. But like, people want to, people want to try and do something different. They want to make it,
Mhm.
I guess, exciting again. Like
Yeah.
for the people that already know the
That's
movie,
it.
they've
And
already seen the posters. They already
it gives such a new layer to the film. If you've seen again Archon about the Lord of Illusions artwork, it's fantastic. And that, like, if you've seen the movie and then you see that artwork, it gives another dimension to the scale of what the movie is going for. Because the good thing is with the artwork sometimes, like, it can capture something the movie could not capture. It's some of these movies are from the 70s, 80s, and things like that, and the effects and things weren't there, and so these bits of art give another dimension to those films and give it a feel or a style that you're not familiar with yet.
I like. I think that's kind of like what I like about the collector. Like you still get some of that classic artwork,
Mm-hmm.
like whether it's on the slick
Yeah.
or the slipcase.
Yeah.
But like we kind of mix it up with something else a bit extra there,
Absolutely. Cubehead said, "How did it feel to partner up with Vega Syndrome? I was quite shocked by seeing the Umbrella name on their announcement screen. Where we're not super involved in the Vega Syndrome stuff.
No, that's
There's a bunch of team that are, and which is awesome. And my favourite thing about the Vega Syndrome stuff is getting these great Australian films in front of an American audience who really trust Vega Syndrome and are coming to sort of trust what we're doing as well. And so they're blind buying a lot of times these movies that they've probably never heard of just because it has cool art, it's Vega Syndrome, it's Umbrella, and all of a sudden you have someone who's absolutely hooked on Ozploitation or something because they picked up the Day of the Panther, Strike of the Panther, Umbrella Vega Syndrome release, something like that.
that's that's the tough thing with Umbrella is like the content that we generally restore and the content we try and save and put out. It's all Australian, of course, but the rest of the world doesn't really know Australian cinema. We're trying to get it in front of as many people as we can because some of it's fantastic. And Vinegar Syndrome gives an output to allow that to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's and a lot of these ones that Vega Syndrome that we're putting out with Vega Syndrome, releases that for us in some cases are out of print even. They're ones that we might have done. You'll look at Day of the Panther, Strike of the Panther. It's probably still around, but that's one that we did a while ago. And Shame was a Sunburnt Screens release. Death in Brunswick, obviously a Sunburnt Screens release, and these are films that we're probably in some cases sold out of entirely. So it's given it a new life. Even the people who maybe missed out that first time, you get a chance to discover it again. And more will come out like that, where something that you know people are still really looking to discover, still eager to watch, and they get that chance. Yeah, with the film Undead. Cubehead, did you see Undead? Did you get the Undead Vega Syndrome release? It was the #1 release, I think, and it's really a fantastic one. But yeah, it's for anyone out there hasn't got that release, it's worth getting. I think a lot of them are still available. Maybe not the first few, but a lot of the recent ones are. I know that just recently, Night of Fear, Into the Dead came out, and then it was Top Knot Detective as well. Oh. Yeah, Peter. The Vega Syndrome releases. A lot of cases they're really similar to what we've put out. And so, Vegan Syndrome are just doing some new art and a little bit of that. Great way to get it to a new audience. But yeah, in general, we're pretty happy with what we've put out there before, and these are just an extension of that a little bit. What we got here? Yeah, the artwork on MS reflects the whole psychology. Yeah, so on Monkey Shines, yeah, it's funny because the artwork itself is a little bit more heightened than the actual movie. There's spoiler. There's not really like an insane amount of blood slashing monkey action, but it really does. It's really under the surface, and like I said, like George Romero has a lot of subtext to his films, so part of it was really about the rage of the monkey and the rage of the human in it as well. So both of those are reflected on that cover, which is fantastic. It kind of, like we said, it brings another dimension to it. Best place to buy VS titles direct. Straight through Vinger Syndrome is always a good option. I've got a Vinger Syndrome parcel coming in soon, so they do ship to Australia. Obviously, a bit of shipping costs, but if not, definitely check out Dead End DVD, who are stocking. I know they're stocking the Top Knot Detective, and I'm sure they've got a bunch of releases up there, but I know they get a fair few Vinger Syndrome umbrella releases, so definitely worth checking out there. Oh, I need to get some water real quick.
Alright.
Throat's going.
Good
Just
beer.
waffling. Just yapping away.
Gives me a chance to try and smash out some more Lego. Bricks! They're bricks! Oh my god, I can't believe I did it. Ah. There we go. There we go. Sorry if anyone's writing in the chat. I can't see it, unfortunately. So let's just build. I did it, Ben. I said the dreaded L word.
No, what?
No, I know.
I want you to moderate it.
I know, this is the problem.
That's alright. We'll survive.
We'll be forgiven.
Enough viewers, guys. Don't don't screen record, please. I'd love to see you guys release Hounds of Love. I'll definitely note that one down. It's one that I've definitely heard of knocking around, but I am unfortunately not the the premier person to let you know if that's happening. But yeah, I'll write it down, and if you're just tuning in, we have a big spreadsheet of films that we kind of take suggestions on, and we can refer to that whenever and dig up some of those films, which is awesome. Thanks, Peter. The VS spines. No, they have different size cases, so they actually have different slick art and slip art as well, but the disc is the same. So those discs are actually, it's funny because those discs are loaded. Some of those Ozploitation and Sunburnt Screens discs, so it's awesome to see people unpacking them in America and getting the full experience. You kind of, our fans luckily get it earlier, but America gets the chance now, which is great. Peter said Predestination on 4K.
Well, that'd be a good one.
It'd be a good one. Well, absolutely, we wouldn't mind that. And then lunchbox and boxer shorts, umbrella lunchbox and boxer shorts. That's a bit down the track, Peter. We're just still
Wow.
t-shirts and hats.
I'm not sure undressing with some umbrella boxes are really gonna get the ladies going, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think that's getting any points, but look, eventually we do want to do more merch and more things like that, but baby steps. Can't quite get to that extent yet.
I mean, we could. I just don't. I don't know how many people want some.
It's actually lucky you're
Brolly
finishing
boxes.
soon, because I need to leave at about 5.
Oh, it's happening! It's happening!
So this is actually working very, very well. Oh, we've got a scoop in the chat.
Hey!
That
There you go.
If you're looking at the chat, that's James getting some answers in the chat. And James, if you are listening, that was one I danced around very well early. I danced around that question, but that's alright. If it's coming from you, then maybe it's a advised scoop.
The disc father finally gets his scoop.
Disc father, if you're on right now, there's this scoop.
Straight to Twitter.
It's hot in Queensland, needs something to promote the brand. We'll
Get a tattoo, mate. That's what all our fans seem to do.
Say you have to take a note from Kira and get the tattoo. That's the next step, but it's a big step.
Have you bought one of the horror hats yet? That'll keep you shady at least.
Yeah, exactly. My other current unicorn is the first Australian science fiction film, Jim Sharman's Shirley Thompson versus the Aliens. Shirley Thompson versus the Aliens. Terry, you always have great suggestions. I recall you gave me a suggestion a while ago, and I think it was on Twitter, and it was definitely one that we noted down, and are still kind of, if we come across it, it'll perk up our ears. So all these are welcome suggestions. But again, just reiterating, like some of these as well, like we would, there's a space on Broly for a lot of these real cult classic Australian movies. It's just a matter of finding the right materials and finding the right people to help us get it, and then we can do something with it, which is always fun. But yeah, plenty of people have said we had a really interesting experience. It was great. I actually heard this one secondhand. Max, you might be able to add to it, but when we were at Comic-Con, a lady was pretty emotional about us stocking some Midnight Spares.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Some Midnight Spares memorabilia, because she had, I think, had her first date watching Midnight Spares, which is a great story, because it's a fun film. It would be a really almost maybe not to all, but it's a real fun. I think it'd be a really fun date movie, and all these years later, she probably hadn't heard of it since, or hadn't seen it since, and all of a sudden we had the bumper sticker with the Midnight Spares. Chrome on it.
Yeah, we did a like a little chrome plated emblem, so it's like the rear emblem for a car, but it said Midnight Spares, little sticky backing.
One of the original collectors.
Yeah, little collector's items, and like it's those kind of stories that like sometimes people throw out at you, like, why you do collector's edition of this movie? Why this movie? Like, oh, apparently every movie's deserving of collect. And you know what? In some ways, I kind of feel like, every movie is deserving of some sort of collector's edition, because for someone out there, that's a special movie to them. It might not be yours, but for someone out there, that's the movie that they really enjoy, that they and they like to see that other people have appreciated it and given it the time it deserves.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you know, it's cliche, but it's like, you know, someone's favorite movie, you know, and still get people, yeah, that an interesting one that still comes up occasionally is Mad Monster Party.
Oh yeah.
You know, I still get people coming to me and saying, I cannot believe I missed that Mad Monster Party. You know, that was my favourite movie. That's a family tradition. You know, I watch that every Halloween, and you know, that's part of my childhood. And you know, that's just, you know, it's pretty awesome. It's, you know, unfortunate that they didn't get the collectors, but we've still got that standard edition for them to enjoy, with all the good stuff on it, and
the proper grade as well.
exactly. And you know, it's great for people because they get to rediscover something that they might have, you know, was maybe a bit lost. And you know, a lot of companies are doing that, and it's you know, it's really part of the joy. You just occasionally get someone who you know, surprisingly, it can be the most obscure movie, and they say that was my all-time favorite, and
Exactly.
you know, and that's the sort of people that you do it for. And then otherwise, you know, a lot of people for some of these obscure movies are discovering them for the first time, and you know, really come to enjoy them and reappreciate them. And another great thing is that, you know, the filmmakers behind these movies, they get, you know, a second wind of people coming and discovering and saying, wow, like, you know, where was I, you know, sleeping on this? So they kind of get a second wind on that as well, which is fantastic.
Oh my god, this is happening. It's happening.
Let's go.
Gotta put the keystone piece on soon. So I thought it might take 2 hours. It looks like it's going to take about 3.
Yeah, look. Get the job done. Don't worry, guys. There may or may not be a time lapse on the socials for anyone who missed it or wants a little highlight reel.
I guess maybe it's worth putting up just in case someone wants to, you know, need assistance. Can have a little watch, see how it's all put together.
Yeah. We'll cut out the parts where Max spilled a beer on the ground, and we'll cut those out, don't worry. We'll fast forward them. Terry said Newsfront on Blu-ray would be great too. Incredibly underrated Australian movie. I'm actually been meaning to check out Newsfront, Terry. It's actually right up my alley, funnily enough. It's a journalistic drama, but that's right in my wheelhouse, so I'll check it out and definitely put it on the list as well. But yeah, just on that, going back to, you know, someone's favourite, something we're discovering with Broly is, like, you know, people just find the movies that they haven't seen in so long. Or, you know, I had a guy call up today and he was looking for Turkey Shoot, and unfortunately we're sold out of Turkey Shoot.
Out of print, is it?
Yeah, just like a, you know, popular film, and he kind of said, oh, do you have it on Blu-ray? And we unfortunately didn't have it for him, but he goes, oh, don't worry, I'll watch it on Broly. And I was like, yeah, great, like, that's what we want. Like, it's some of those films that maybe we don't have anymore, or maybe a bit hard to find, maybe we've never done it on disc, you know, definitely check Broly, because you might be surprised to, oh, you know, that thing that I've been, you know, searching for is right there, and, you know, you can watch it on demand. Another suggestion, a book that has all the films released from Umbrella, one book, encyclopedia vibes, something collectors can have. That's not a bad idea, Peter. It's a lot of work. It's a...
We're not afraid of a bit of work.
That'd be a huge project, but something that I am a big fan of is the Criterion art book. When I first started here, I definitely made sure to tell everyone that that's one of my holy grail finds. Is if anyone ever finds a new copy of or even a used copy of the Criterion art book, I'll happily buy it off you, because that's an encyclopedia of all the artwork that Criterion have ever done on their releases.
There you go, everyone. He's putting it out there to the world.
The wish list.
Someone's got to give him this Christmas present. Come on.
And yeah, if if we had the capability to do something like that, it'd be fantastic.
I think it's not that we don't have the capability, we just don't have the time. Like,
Yeah.
so much stuff that we're trying to work on.
There's a lot to do. There's definitely a lot to do.
And like Broly is such a big project of bringing, cinema to the people.
Yeah, and we're gonna. If you're just tuned in, we're gonna continue supporting Broly with a bunch of new films every month. We've already got some in the works, and there's some really exciting things coming in that space, and some films that people are gonna be like, wow, you can just get that for free on Broly. It's pretty cool. So definitely check it out. Keep it on. Someone said, Criterion art book. Writing that down emoji. I don't know if you're saying that you're writing that down to get me for Christmas, or
oh come on, of course they are.
or if that's just now in your repertoire of keep an eye out for it because it's a cool thing. So definitely keep an eye out for it. It's something cool, and yeah, if we ever did something like that, I would be the first person to secure a copy of it for sure.
There we go. I'm just gonna take that to that.
And Terry said Mad Monster Party was a great upgrade. Got the earlier Blu-ray, US Blu-ray, which was muddy. Yeah, so that was, a big improvement to the film. And we try to do that when we can. You would have seen slightly more controversially the color grade on Kids, but since that's come out, a lot of people have really supported it and said, that really reflects how it was when it came out, and the vibe that Larry Clark was going for. So it's awesome to see that once everyone got their hands on that, they said that really makes sense to do, and to make it a bit more lively and vibrant. And we found that the last release of it just wasn't. Yeah, so I said, well, see ya.
Almost done. There's few little final touches here.
Yeah, we're just about everyone. We're tuning for the dash home. I think I just saw the caption. The caption just thought you said, "Where's Dennis?" Ndennis, which is also the spelling of Denis Villeneuve. So that's like just random. It knew
he knows what we're doing.
Dune said. It said, "Where's Denis? Get him on the live stream.
Get him on the phone."
Anyone, if you have a contact for Denis Villeneuve, I'll happily take it off your hands and I'll give him a call. But
we'll send him a set.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs it. I'm sure he doesn't have enough Sandworms at home.
Yeah. Does Broly support 4K? I also thought the color grade on Kids looked great. Thanks for the support on the color grade. Definitely when we announced it, it had mixed reception, but I think since people have sort of been pretty receptive to it. But Broly 4K, I could imagine that it does support 4K, but a lot of streaming is about storage. It's about playback and just the best performance for the user. And 4K might hinder that a little bit, but definitely where we can, we'll have our 4K restorations. They just might be scaled down to 1080p. But such is the nature of streaming sometimes. You'll see even Netflix and that you have to pay a premium for 4K streaming because it does cost a little bit more to produce and to deliver.
It's all about that bandwidth.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna have to head off.
Alright.
We'll wrap it up soon, and
yep.
Max will close the stream. But it's been a good one, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully Umbrella can do some more live streams in the future.
Yeah, I don't see why not. As long as it's we've got the right thing.
We, next time we might position it just as a direct Q&A.
Yeah,
Get people in, just ask
it's a possibility.
questions. Late Night with the Devil, disc or cinema this year? Just about finished. See ya.
See ya. Well, like, last person here.
Yeah.
Almost finished.
Nice.
There we go.
You can
You can say hello if you want.
get the last question in.
Hi, streamers.
This is Ari, the illustrious leader of Umbrella.
Who's left?
There you go.
Oh, you can see. Oh, nice. Terry Talks Movies. How are ya? Oh, it's got like. Oh, nice. Alright, cool.
Alright,
We'll
catch
see you,
you.
Max. Have a great one, mate.
After I finish this, I'm
Happy
out.
holidays. I'll see you on the other side.
Catch you.
Well, I'm going to see you, mate.
Oh yeah, that's right. Next year. Catch you, man.
See you, mate.
Enjoy. Ah. Almost finished. Let's just smash it out here. That one goes there. That one goes there. That one goes there. On the side, and here we go, the final piece. There's a few little extra pieces here, which is great. And here is the final piece of the puzzle. There you go. So this is the full Dune set. We can, here we go, move it all up here so you get a nice display. Lift the piece here. So thanks for joining us. Hope you've had a good little insight into the world of Umbrella. You've see what the Dune set looks like. If you haven't bought one, it's definitely worth buying. If you buy it through our web store, it should still make it for Christmas. If you're not sure about that, still at JB Hi-Fi. Not sure where they are on the shelves. You might have to ask them. And yeah, happy holidays. Have a good weekend, everyone, and enjoy the nice weather if you've got it. Cheers from Umbrella.